Alright, hey Videobob fans. I'm Videobob, and as a lot of you know, I am a fan of the movie Rocky Horror Picture Show. It's something that's been a part of my life for a long time, going back to early 1990 when I first discovered the movie because I heard that Meatloaf was in it, and I was a huge Meatloaf fan. And in Arlington, Texas, at the Forum 303 Mall, I used to go to the Rocky Horror Picture Show, and I became a cast member there. You know, they would have a shadow cast reenact the movie in front of the film while the audience participated. I used to play Eddie, I used to play Dr. Scott and the criminologist, and my lovely wife Rachel used to play Columbia. And it was many years later that we reconnected through the movie, and now we're married. So for her 40th birthday, and also for myself, we traveled all the way to Windsor, England, where you can find Oakley Court. Now, Oakley Court is a 4 or maybe 5-star resort hotel, which is a castle which a lot of movies have been filmed at. If you look it up, you'll find that a lot of the old Hammer films were recorded here, as well as Rocky Horror Picture Show in the mid-70s, and we're here. And so I wanted to show it off to you. Now check it out. Let me flip the camera around. There it is, the famous Oakley Court. Now, if you remember at the beginning when Brad and Janet sing There's a Light, up in this window here, Riff Raff sings out of that window. He sings There's a Light. Flow Morpheus slow, let the sun and light come streaming into my life. That song, you know. Well, that is actually the room that we are staying in. That is one of the main suites here. It's rather expensive, but hey, if you're going to come all the way to England and stay in a castle, well, that's the suite you want. And I'm going to show that to you in a little bit, because don't be confused. On the other side of that room over there is actually the Richard O'Brien suite, which they've mislabeled. Really, this one, room 114, is the one you want, and that is the one where Riff sings out of that window. So check out the movie. Now also, if you remember at the end of the movie, during Superheroes, right in this area where that doorway is, let me show you, Brad and Janet are dragging Dr. Scott out of that doorway as the entire building flies away into space. Okay? Now, this little area over here, it's hard to tell because we would be looking at it from a different angle, but you can tell from these concrete balls, this is where Rocky is being chased by the dogs, and the dogs chase him around this corner. It'd be easier to see in the daytime, and we'll take a quick jog around the corner. I gotta tell you, Rocky Horror Picture Show is just one of my favorite movies. It never gets old. You can watch it hundreds of times. And for those of you who have only seen it on video and have not watched it inside the theater with the audience, you don't really know what you're missing. It's not really the same movie. Alright, so now we're out here in the main courtyard now, which is actually where Brad and Janet would have come up to the front door. And there it is. You'll recognize this famous area here. It's a very busy hotel. Now, you'll recognize these Griffins, or as we call them, the Scooby-Doo dogs. Brad and Janet are standing here. Brad comes up and he rings this doorbell. Ding dong. And the doors would normally be closed, and this door would open slightly. Riff Raff would come around, peeking out the side. Hello. And I think you better both come inside. So let's go inside. Now, these windows would normally be stained glass, leaded glass. They've been replaced with this clear glass. Let's go inside the main area. Okay. So here, you're gonna see the very famous banister. Now, normally, when Brad and Janet first come in, you see this area behind you here, and it's changed only slightly. There was a lighted statue here, and there was up above here some curtains, but it looks pretty much the same. This is when Brad walks in and says, looks like some kind of hunting lodge for rich weirdos. Right about that time, you see the banister here. Magenta was hanging out right about here, and well, you're lucky, we're all lucky. She slides down to the banister, and right about that time, Riff Raff has his trusty duster, and he tells us how astounding it is. Now, here there would be a clock, and there would be the painting, and this is where the time warp begins. And you'll recognize this cabinet here. This cabinet was in the film, which is where they're keeping some of their curios. And in the middle of this room, there was the lift that Frankenfurter comes down, but the ceiling has been filled in. The ceiling used to be open, but now it's been closed, and there was a lift here, and that's where Frankenfurter comes down. Now, they run through those doors, which then they switch from those doors and go into the movie studio from there. So that's the end of using that room. But over here in this room, check this out. This room, although it doesn't look very recognizable, is the room with the dinner scene. This is the scene where they eat Eddie. Frankenfurter was sitting right down there. Riff Raff and Magenta bring the tray right around the corner. Columbia was sitting right here, and Rocky was sitting here in front of this fireplace. And Brad and Janet were both sitting right here, and Dr. Scott would have been sitting this way. Now, these doors used to have leaded glass in them. They've been replaced with wood. These are the same doors that Columbia goes running out screaming after she finds out that Eddie has been eaten in this room. But this is the room where that happened. All right, I'm going to take you on a tour upstairs. And you'll notice that these, this wrought iron, this is the same as it was in the film. Nothing's really changed. Okay, I'm going to huff it up these stairs. Now, check it out. If you remember the song, I'm forgetting the song because I'm out of breath going up these stairs. Anyway, when Frank is chasing Janet around saying, "Your apple pie don't taste too nice." All right, so these are the stairs that he's chasing her up and down. And actually, it's right here that Janet kicks him in the balls. And he steps back right about there. So you'll be able to pull up your movie, and you'll be able to compare this scene right here. Now, what else is interesting? Now, this room used to have a railing that went all the way around because this floor didn't used to be here. This was the open ceiling where the lift was. This lift went up into Frank's laboratory, and Frank chases Janet all the way around this little area here, and then up these stairs. Say hello to our friend. There he is. And he goes all the way up to the stairs. Well, this is where his laboratory would be. Now here's one little thing I want to share with you when you come here to get a suite. Don't be fooled by this room. Okay? That's the Richard O'Brien suite. However, that is not the room that he actually stayed in. Well, he did stay in that room, but that's not where they shot the movie. They did it here. The Richard Hale suite. So here it is. This is our room where we're staying, and this is that famous window where Riff Raff sings "There's a Light" right out this window. And if you come to Oakley Court, you too can sing right out this window. Hey, I'm Videobob, and if you're a big fan of Rocky Horror Picture Show, just hop on a plane, fly to Windsor, England, come stay at Oakley Court, and it's a lot of fun, and they're really nice people, and it cost a boatload of money, but it was worth it. So check it out. Hey, I'm Videobob. Thanks for watching.